Hi, I'm Kim Goldup-Graham from the Sewing Revolution. Today I'm going to show you how to do a four placement on the vertical and the horizontal of the Sewing Revolution. Now when you do a four placement on the vertical line and the horizontal line, which I'll show you shortly, you will end up with a diamond shape four placement. So the first thing we have to do is find our starting point with our template that we print out from the software with our machine. Now we go to position on the vertical and the horizontal. So the first thing we have to do is make sure our design here fits in between the two red lines here, because that is 1/4, 1/4 of our design. So if we put that on, making sure that that cross, the vertical line of the cross, is on our central line here, we can see that our starting point is at 4 1/4. So we remember that number, and once again we're going to write that into the corner of our block. We then have to place the block marker onto our block and mark our foundation dots, which are our 9 dots, with a water-soluble marker. Now we mark them with a water-soluble marker so that when we press our work after we've done the placement and the embroidery, we don't lose our foundation dots that we may need. So it's just these 5 centered holes and marked dots there, and the halfway on the 12 here. So we've marked those dots. Now that ensures that the Sewing Revolution, when we put it onto our block, is perfectly straight. So we're going to match up these 5 center dots here with the center, the 1-inch holes on the vertical and the 1-inch holes on the horizontal. So we position that on. We have the dots out here that we marked on the halfway at the 12. We straighten that up so that you can see those dots through the 6-inch holes on the horizontal and the vertical. Once we've got that positioned, we're then going to mark each one of these red lines here on the vertical and on the common line here. So we remember our starting point, which was at 4 1/4. We mark that one, an inch below at 3 1/4, an inch above at 5 1/4. On the vertical here, we're marking at 3 1/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/4. Again here, 3 1/4, 4 1/4, and 5 1/4, and again on this one at 3 1/4, 4 1/4, and 5 1/4. So what we'll end up with is 4 sets of 3 dots. And we're going to make these dots, I'm just making them a little bit darker so that you can see them. We're going to form our placement cross with these dots. So we're going to line up our 1, 2, 3 dots with the 1, 2, 3 vertical holes on our little template marker. That's our little 2.5-inch square, ensuring this arrow is pointing in the direction that we want our embroidery to point. That arrow also points to the top of the hoop when we hoop up. So we mark up all 4 of our crosses, matching up the 1, 2, 3 holes with the 1, 2, 3 dots that we've marked with the Sewing Revolution, and form our placement cross. Once again, 1, 2, 3 holes over those 1, 2, 3 dots, mark in the others, and form our placement cross. And then the 4th one, matching up those dots and those holes again, and forming our placement cross, marking our little arrow in the middle so that when we go to embroider, we know that that arrow is the direction our embroidery has to point in, and that has to point to the top of the block. Once we have hooped up each one of these individually, we will end up with our beautiful 4 placement, which forms a diamond. If you would like any of these rulers, you can get them at thesewingrevolution.com.au, or if you've enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends.